I have this thing called This Will Happen on my notes. And it's Digiannia times Bad Bunny, Digiannia times Karol G, Digiannia times Becky G, Digiannia times Sade, Digiannia times Drake. There's so many individuals.
And you got to think, man, there's somebody out there that's worked with everyone that you talked about. And they had that list. Big Boy's Neighborhood, beautiful day in the neighborhood, ladies and gentlemen. If you know, you know. If you don't, consider it an introduction. Digiannia is in the neighborhood. Welcome to the neighborhood, Queen.
Buenos dias.
Hello. First, I gotta ask, where does the name come from, Digiannia?
Okay, Digiannia is D from Princess Diana.
So why not Digiannia?
Okay, espérate. D from Princess Digiannia, D from Princess Diana, and then Giannia from Gianni Versace.
Right.
So it's Digiannia.
Digiannia.
Yes.
Alrighty, that's a powerful name.
They died on the year I was born, and my mom, I guess, was extremely inspired by them, and very sad that they passed away. So I think it's amazing because I get to really call upon this energy every day and every time I introduce myself to somebody. And Princess Diana was super impactful, and so was Gianni Versace to this day. You know, Versace, however you want to pronounce it.
So do you have to explain the name a lot?
Yes, I do. Yeah. I do, but I love it. I truly do.
And it's a powerful name, too. And that's your real name?
It is my name,
that's
and it's
dope.
also my artist name. I think my mom knew I was getting into this before I was born.
Yeah, it's destined. Moms know. Like, my mom knew. You know what I'm saying? Like, my mom knew that there was something special for me since I was a little kid. So your parents do know. But she named me Kurt after some man in Germany, but I don't... You know what I'm saying? I never even met this Kurt Digiannia, so I'm like, whatever it is.
That's pretty good, though, Kurt.
Yeah. It looks good on checks.
It sure does.
It looks real good on checks. K-U-R-T.
And then you came up with Big Boy.
Yeah. And you know.
And everybody knows Big Boy.
And do you know that I used to weigh over 500 pounds?
I heard.
Yeah, that's the way it was.
Because I was asking, I was like, why is Big Boy? He's not really a big boy.
Yeah, man.
He used to be a
And then somebody showed you pictures, you're like, what the fuck?
I was like, wow.
She's like, whoa. She's like, he need more D-herbs. You know? She's like, what the hell? All right, so how do you get into music? Do you grow up, Digiannia, and it's in your household first?
Music has always been in my life. I used to sing in my balcony to millions of people in my imagination.
Boom.
So I know that if you see it, it's happened. I remember I had a pool in front of my apartment building, and I used to think I had this Hannah Montana little book bag thing that was a guitar, and I used to play the guitar and sing. So music has always been a part of me. I always knew this is something.
Was it in your household as well?
It wasn't really in my household.
Really?
I mean, I was born and raised in Colombia, in Medellin, Colombia, and now it's a part of Medellin is actually the hub of music in Latin America, aside from Puerto Rico. But
it's a lot of hubs.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But actually, arts weren't really a thing back then. You know what I mean? And I'm 25.
Right.
But what I'm trying to get at is,
you 25?
Yeah, I just turned 25. So the thing is,
I had to dap my homeboy over here.
The thing is, I mean, I don't think it was in the household because there wasn't many opportunities. My mom did want to be a designer, and she actually designs everything I wear.
Wow, that's beautiful.
So she designed this.
So she lived in her dream.
Yes, through me.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah, she styles all my videos and everything. So what I'm saying is there was always art in my household, but I don't think it was able to be achieved because we didn't have the mediums to.
And you have to, you still have to live life, because there's a difference between a dream and sometimes the reality doesn't have you, step out and do those kind of things. Family got to eat. Bills got to be paid. 100%. And sometimes you put your dreams on the back burner to make sure that you're taking care of family members. And do you feel like that's what was happening in your household as well?
Well, the thing is, that's the American dream, or what we think of when we come to America, right? I feel like my mom sacrificed so much of her life so that I can have the life that I have today.
Right.
I've traveled so many countries. I'm currently able to live my dream to the fullest and not have that struggle because my mom has done the work for me. So I think that's the struggle for immigrant parents and usually immigrants that move to this country. Or I mean, we all have that struggle, right? As parents, let's say we want the better for our kids.
Oh, so 100%.
I genuinely think that I'm currently able to live what I love because of my past generations.
Now, you moved to America when? How old were you?
When I was 11.
All right, and where did you go from when you're 11? It was first off, was it a culture shock when your mom tell you you're moving to America, or did you want to move?
So my mom moved here when I was about 6 years old.
Oh, okay.
And she was back and forth. And I've always been extremely close to her, to my family. As Latinos, we're very close to our family. And I couldn't wait to be with her. So finally, at the age of 11, she was able to bring me.
See, that's another sacrifice.
Leaving your kid behind to be able to, you know. So she was able to bring me to the U.S., to Jersey, actually. I moved to Montclair, New Jersey, which I'm in love with that town. And I'm going to buy a house there
Was
someday.
it different coming here,
So
though?
the thing is, to me, it wasn't a culture shock because I came right at the age that you're just young. And you're living.
You go outside.
You have no pre-assumptions of anything. You don't really care about anything. You're just living. And that's why it's awesome, because you learn a language easier during that time frame, right? So that's the number one
Did you know
thing.
English when you came
No,
here?
I used to fail my English classes back in Colombia.
He still failed his English classes.
¿Qué pasa, Jose?
Hey, man, no, but that's how I trip off of things. When people be like, man, you failed English. Like, I remember I went to school with my boy, DJ Ray, and he failed Spanish, and Ray's Mexican.
Imagínate.
And I was like, dude, I said, but we failed English. You know what I'm saying?
See, there's not much of a difference there.
Yeah, you know?
So the thing with moving to Jersey, to Montclair in particular, there was a lot of, there was not many Latinos, which I found it to be good, because it was easier for me to learn English. I was forced to.
Right.
In Montclair, there was a lot of black and white people, but there was not many Latinos. So there was a lot of diversity, but not for my particular culture, which in a way, I mean, I take it as a plus, but definitely, I mean, I missed it a lot. Right. So I would go back to Colombia as often as I could. So I was there 6th and 7th grade, and then I went back to Colombia because I was like, no, I miss my country. I need to be back with my grandma and my family and my best friends over there. I left the Christmas break, and I'll be back in a week, and I didn't come back for 2.5 years.
Damn. And how old were you then?
8th grade.
Damn.
Yeah, I was like, bye.
Those are like boss decisions. She's like, hey, man, I'm going back to Colombia. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm missing all my friends and everything.
My friends in America were actually like, come on. 2 years later, I came back. They're like, that was a long Christmas break.
Right. Like, how long is Christmas over there?
Hey, listen, like, Christmas is the best, okay? It just started today, and they go the whole month.
They were like, man, Christmas is 2.5 years over there? You're like, I want that.
But I came back because, again, I realized the sacrifices my mom had made for me to be able to live in this country. And so I came back in 10th grade to be able to do the SATs, ACTs, all that stuff, to be able to go to college and follow all of that, right? But once I get to college, I get a full ride, a scholarship. I finish it. I'm like, Mom, here you go. I love you. I went to school for communications, and multimedia journalism. I mean, I was always in arts. I always had my singing classes. I was always in chorus, acting, the whole thing. But
no one in your family is into music at that time?
No.
So how do you think you fell in love with music? Because usually you'll hear, and it's probably something played in the household, I don't know. But my introduction to music and loving music was the music my mom played. Then my brother Keith was very instrumental on buying albums, and it was always something in my house.
I mean, listen, the Latin culture is just filled with music.
Yeah.
Okay, we're very passionate. I know all the old school songs because La Abuela, while she was cleaning every Sunday, she was blasting
it was in the household.
Of course.
But nobody was in the business. What made you want to become an artist? Because it's different to consume it and listen to music.
Absolutely.
And then say, I got my book bag and I'm playing to millions of people in my head. What gave you the artist bug that made you want to be an artist?
I mean, I feel like I've always been an extrovert. That's part of my character. I love people. I love interacting with people.
Right.
And I know that I've always said and I say this the most humble way, I'm one of God's favorites. And I know that when I enter a room, I light up the room. That is something that was gifted in me. And we do it all in different ways, but I know that I can get in front of an audience. And
I totally understand that. They don't. You know what I'm saying? They don't. But trust me, when you said it, I was like, I know what you're talking about. I definitely. Everybody else was like, what?
But like I said, I mean, I have the opportunity. Why not follow my dreams? After I gave that ese cartón, after I gave that to my mom, and I was like, here you go.
Right.
I love you. I'm going to go after what I want, after what I've always dreamed of. I saw me on this balcony playing to millions of people, and it's going to happen. And that's why I decided to get in.
Does your mom support you at that time? Because, you know,
she's always supported me.
Okay, that's beautiful.
Everyone in my family,
because
actually.
That business is scary, too.
It's extremely
when you
scary.
say, you know what, you went to school, you had a full ride, you know, like you want to go into music and not shooting you down, because sometimes we can love someone so much that we think we're helping them.
Absolutely.
By saying, are you sure? Or, you know, but if it's destined and you know it, then you step out on faith, even if you can't see the whole staircase, you know?
And it's known to be that a lot of, you know, Latino parents, let's say, that they've worked so hard. So it's like, why don't you take the safe route? You know, we never know with entertainment what's really going to happen. It's all in your hands. And actually, now that I'm fully independent, so everything is in my hands. Yeah. So I know what it really is. The music industry, I mean, even before I was like, okay, I'm not sure. You know, you have to have money to make money. You have to, and it's all of those things are true. You know what I mean? It has to be the right person, right time, right everything for it to work. But it's also, now I know it's about hard work. That's really all that matters. Mm-hmm. Hard work, talent, and you know,
and opportunities,
God's, you know,
God's plan.
God's plan.
Hey, so when you first say, okay, you know what, I want this music thing. The music business is a hard business to crack in. You know, there is no, I'll get a book and then it'll show me exactly how to get
instructions.
In. Yeah. So how do you say, you know what, and how do you make attention for yourself in such a cluttered and crowded arena?
See, the thing is, once I got my head up out of fear, because that's fear, right? When you're like, oh, I don't know if I can do this.
Yeah,
you know,
you're in your own way.
I need to have money. I need to have this. I need to have the connections. When you get your head up, I looked around and I realized that my whole entire life, I've been surrounded by music. Mm-hmm. All of my friends growing up are now the producers for Maluma, for J Balvin, for Fade, for Karol G, the writers. All these people that I grew up with are now doing this, that I've known since I was 12, 13 years old in Colombia. Then I looked over here, who I grew up with here in America, in my other side of my life. And they're also, you know, people like Lunch Money Lewis, Crunkadelic, producers that have worked with countless amounts of individuals. And I'm like, okay, how do I already have all the artillery. Now it's time for me to make a name for myself, for me to show that I can, for me to show that my talent goes further than anything else.
If you were to describe and not put yourself in a box, if we were in the elevator, 8th floor, and you said, oh, I do music, what would you tell me before we get down to the 1st floor about you, your music, and what you do?
See, the thing is, what happens with my music is I am both very Colombian and I'm both very American. I have both cultures evenly. I really understand the Sades, the Lauryn Hills of the world, but I also understand the Celia Cruz, the Karol G currently, the Selenas of the world. So I'm able to mix both worlds and really bring that to you and gift it to you through my art.
And how has it been for you thus far?
It's been a beautiful journey. Like I said, I'm fully independent, and that's something to be proud of, because it's not an easy task.
And especially now, too.
And because I choose to.
Yeah.
Because, you know, the Bad Bunnies of the world have showed us what we can do. Okay? Yeah. Bad Bunny is really setting the bar up there.
Yeah, man. We just had Unwell yesterday, man. And it's crazy what it used to be, kind of, a genre, a category. And now that you see the biggest selling artists, the biggest touring artists are international.
Absolutely.
Or they're people of color, or they're brown, or you know what I'm saying? So
it's beautiful to see that representation.
Yeah, man. And all over the world, and by so many others. So, and not like, oh, this is perfect timing, this is God timing, but this is a time where it's like, you know, there's so many opportunities as well. And the way that you can, back in the days, it was, I got to be on this label. I got to be on this label.
The only way
now people don't want the label.
No, because let's say, for example, I've been able to grow my TikTok. You know, we were talking about socials. And like you said, it's part of the profession. I've been able to grow my TikTok by 150,000 over the past 6 months. 150,000 people that are now watching what I'm doing.
But you're too busy to take over mine, huh?
Honestly, yes, because I post 3 to 4 times a day.
Yeah, and we were talking about that, but that's a part of this machine.
Yes, because the thing is, I have these resources now in my hands. So it's not about what don't I have anymore. It's about what do I have and what can I make with it. You know, and that's the magic of the journey of today. You can really do it. I mean, it's hard.
Right, yeah.
But you can.
But especially anything that you want. It should be hard.
Anything, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Anything big.
So how do people get in touch with you through social or through a web or anything of that nature?
Yeah, I mean, if you guys wanna connect with me and share this journey with me, I would love for you guys to join. It's Digiannia, Digiannia, on all platforms: YouTube, Spotify, TikTok, Instagram, everything.
All right. So what goes on music wise from right now to the near future? We know what a long goal is.
Okay, I'll tell you the secrets because, I tell you the secret, but don't tell anybody,
all right,
okay?
Well, you probably don't want to tell me because I think you have a good audience.
To you.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
The whole neighborhood listens to you. So next year, around the summertime, I'm releasing an album called Todo es Amor, which means everything is love, with all the aspects of love. I mean, because you have a Latina wife, no?
Yes.
So
Veronica.
you know what Todo es Amor is.
Hell yeah. I'm about to go home and do it right now. Well, not right now. I'm going to finish up this interview.
Everything is love, huh?
Yeah.
It's going to have all this music. It's going to have 11 songs. Some that have just come out.
That you said 11 songs.
It's my angel number.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 11 is my angel number. And so 11 songs is going to be an album. No EPs.
Right.
I make the decisions. So I'm going to put out an album, 11 songs. Some of them have already come out. Like my latest single is called Del Amor Al Odio, From Love to Hate. It's a jazzy, Sade, and Espanol type of vibe. So you guys should definitely check it out because it's very different from what we have outside.
Do you write as well?
Yeah, I write my music.
Really?
And I'm trying to get into producing. It would be dope to be able to do that too.
You will. I'm pretty sure you had the vision of you sitting behind the boards and playing everything as well. You know what I'm saying? You played the backpack already. You know what I'm saying? You played the main backpack.
As long as I played the backpack, that's all I needed.
All right, so you talking about June, not June, but probably May.
Around that area.
Of next year. So you give yourself some leeway. And what about the covers? You know what I'm saying? Like when you would do covers, do those things help you? Because people love to hear something that's familiar as well.
So my first release anything was actually Bob Marley, Is This Love?
Yes.
In Spanish. And it was so powerful. So many people loved it so much because, I mean, like you said, people like to know something that's already familiar. I do a lot of covers, actually. A lot of songs that are in English, I translate them to Spanish because the thing is, a song like Is This Love, everybody knows it.
Right.
But maybe the Latin community doesn't really fully understand what he's saying. So that's something I wanted to bring to the table for my Latinos. And even my Jamaican friends were proud of me because, Bob Marley is Bob Marley. Not everybody could touch Bob Marley or get on, Some people were like, you know what? We don't really like anybody. My Jamaican friends were like, we don't really like anybody touching our icon, but you did a really good job. So
that's dope.
Digiannia, I recently heard Jennifer Lopez said that she can't write songs when she's sad. It's just like too hard for her. She gets more inspired by when she's happy and in love. What inspires you when you're writing?
Actually, the opposite.
Right.
When I'm sad, the pain, the song Del Amor Al Odio that I just released talks about the pain. And it wasn't even pain that I'm currently living. I'm actually in a really happy state of my life. And my heart is in a very happy place. But hey, let me tell you, I had some real big heartbreaks in the past, and that helps a lot for inspiration. I feel like people want to be with someone. When they're in a down, in a sad place, they want to feel like they have someone to hold on to, and that's the magic of music.
They can relate to it.
Hey, man, and that's one thing with music, man. Music is very emotional, and it can take you to so many places too, man. And music is the one thing, Digiannia, that I've always had a chance to go back to. Even through bouts of homelessness, bouts of this, that, I always had music. And that's, music is the soundtrack of your life. You'll hear something.
That's powerful.
Yeah, well, I didn't make it up, but,
I'm going to take credit for it.
Yeah, and you're just 25. I could have told you. Yeah. But then you would have walked out of here and somebody would have been like, Big didn't make that. It could have been 6 months from now. And you would have hit me back like, Big, you lying ass. Yeah, you are a smooth liar. There's these aspirations. Of course, you want to get down. And people are heavy on collaborations too.
Yeah.
Do you have that list of people that you say, man, I would love to work with this person?
Oh, absolutely. And the list is long, okay?
Right, and it should be.
I have this thing called This Will Happen on my notes. And it's Digiannia times Bad Bunny, Digiannia times Karol G, Digiannia times Becky G, Digiannia times Sade, Digiannia times Drake, There's so many individuals.
And you got to think, man, there's somebody out there that's worked with everyone that you talked about. And they had that list.
You know what's so powerful, though? I was looking at this the other day, and I realized I've met 90% of the individuals on my list.
Really?
Yes. And
Just
I've had encounters. Mucho gusto, Digiannia, un placer, artista colombiana. So it's going to happen because I was like, wow, this is crazy. I made this list about a year or two ago, and already I've met all these people. So it's gonna happen.
So when you
artists like Becky G inspire me a lot because she is just like me. She's a Latina that understands the Latinx culture,
and that is my little heart, man.
She's a writer. She's incredible.
That is my
she's
little
an LA
heart.
native too.
Yeah, she's from Inglewood. Hey man, she came to the neighborhood a couple months ago, right?
Yeah.
And she played this jingle, like this song that she wrote about me that I had never heard. It never got to me. And she was, how old was she when she did that? Like 12, 14?
Yeah.
That
man.
Is powerful.
Oh, I love Becky G, man. And that's another thing too, Digiannia, where I'm saying I love seeing the journeys. You know what I'm saying? I love seeing the journeys of where you know or you feel someone is going to go. And all it'll take, the will that you have, the talent, the hard work, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, man, there's a lot of people that want to be in the business, but there's just some things that you just can't deny. You know what I'm saying? There's just some things that you can't deny. And I've been sitting in either this seat or the seat of radio with this microphone, and I've seen so many people talk beautiful things into existence. Ooh. I've had people that's come up to me and say, hey, man, I met you at such and such, and I told you I was going to be in here.
But you know they're in here. That it don't happen unless you work for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Manifestation plus work.
And you got to work.
Okay? The work. Yeah. The work is heavy on the work.
Because I'm definitely not going to be like, man, just follow me in for this interview. You know what I'm saying? Like, where your music at? Ain't made nothing yet, Unc. I heard that, man. But no, continue to do what you got to do. You got to be prepared for that opportunity. Believe that. All right. And let's talk about the music.
Ooh. Alrighty. Now, you know what perreo means?
Perreo. What is that?
You need to ask Veronica.
Oh, really?
Perreo. Es hora del perreo. Perreo means getting down and busy in Spanish.
Really though?
In Colombia, we don't say.
See, we call
twerk
it
out. No. It's like twerking,
something different.
dancing.
Oh, okay.
So blunt.
Sorry about that. No, sorry about that. When she was on getting down, I thought okay, so just getting down, twerking, dancing, doing your thing. Okay.
It's called perreo. And perreo is one of my songs that you need to get put on so you can dance with it at home with your wife.
Hello, remember you said that.
And it's going crazy in Colombia, actually, in my country, and in a lot of countries in South America has been playing all over the radio over there.
And I was about to ask you that
excited.
too, because I was talking with my guy as well, and he was like, "Oh yeah, the radio airplay. What does that feel like when you either in a car or you hear your music come through?"
Hey, listen, okay, it was wonderful. Just 2-3 weeks ago that I was back home, I was with my abuela driving, and my song comes on the radio, and she looks at me. Mind you, she has my shirt on. Okay, she has the actual perreo shirt on because my abuela is my biggest fan.
I heard that.
Okay, so she has my perreo shirt on, and I don't even say anything. I just turn up the radio, and she goes, "Mija, this is you." I'm like, "Abuela," and it was just so.
That's a beautiful moment.
Powerful.
And did that come on without you even knowing it was about to come on?
No, I was just driving. We was in traffic because LA traffic, Colombia traffic. Okay, but it was just so powerful to see that my abuela, she was in such excitement. And
that's beautiful.
I get videos all the time from my friends, my childhood friends, my little cousins. They're like, DJ, you're on the radio. This is so amazing.
And it's getting nothing but bigger. Not only looking forward to the album and 11 songs, but do you feel like, damn, do you ever get a little nervous about the jump that you're about to make? And not nervous in a bad way, but like, okay, well, it's about to be all me in this body of music.
I mean, I was nervous to come here today, Big.
Really, though?
Of course. You're the voice of LA.
Yeah.
Like you guys are
I guess I would be nervous.
You guys
too,
are the real deal.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess I would be a little nervous too. You know what I'm saying?
Do you see everybody that's been here with you, okay? And you're believing in my art, even though I'm just starting. So it's beautiful to be able to be here.
But you've been doing it.
I've been doing it forever.
Because when you say just starting, it's like it's so much tuition into the school of experience.
Absolutely.
And I think that's another reason why I latched onto you, and that's why I started the interview like, well, if you know, you know, if you don't, consider this an introduction.
Amen.
You know what I'm saying? But I definitely thank you for coming into the neighborhood. We're not going to leave it here. We're not going to leave it here. I just want to watch your journey as well.
Hey, Big. When I'm real big,
you going to come back?
I'm going to be right here, and we're going to talk about today.
Okay. I remember Beyonce told me that same thing. And she came a few times. You know what I'm saying? She came a few times. I'm going to hold you to that.
Hold me to it.
And now we have audio and video.
Video proof.
So yeah. So now like the Beyonce stuff, people like, oh, he telling lies, man. But now I'm gonna lock this into the vault.
Just remember, it's gonna happen.
You know it's gonna happen. Digiannia, thank you for coming into the neighborhood. Thank you for hanging out with us, man. Y'all stick around, Big Boy's Neighborhood.